afternoon, colleagues. It is such a pleasure to see you all in person here today. I have the honor and the privilege of entertaining you for the afternoon. I'm not going to reintroduce myself, but I am going to tell you a story. I have a 9-year-old son, and he attends what we call a city school on the border of Rosebank and Melrose. Now, every morning we get up early, and we rush to the car to catch the 94.7 gang and the morning quiz, which we attempt with great aplomb. And whilst we're doing so, we catch glimpses of what's happening on the roads and what's happening on billboards. Then this one day, my son, in a high-pitched voice, says, "I must have those." And I'm thinking, here goes another OTT request for a fancy sports car that I can't afford. You guys know what OTT is, right? So this over-the-top request was not for a fancy sports car. It was actually for the shoes that I'm wearing today, these drip shoes. So whilst we see drip shoes all over on billboards, I knew little about it. But my 9-year-old's interest in the shoe sparked my curiosity. So I thought, let me do some research. And this is what I found out. This shoe is made locally. The business was founded by a young gentleman who could not afford shoes, who comes from an informal settlement. He knew he had to solve the problem for himself and for all people just like him. So he found an old pair of thrown-away sneakers in the informal settlement. He collected some discarded fabrics, and he recreated the sneaker stitch by stitch. When eventually he could wear the sneaker, he put it on, walked around the informal settlement, no doubt with some swagger, and certainly it was a hit. So he decided to dedicate all his time, effort, and limited resources to building a business. Today, the business boasts 20 stores around the country and employs over 150 people. It's a great story, no doubt. But here's the thing, right? When I was conducting my research, I went where we all usually start, the website. And on the About Us page, guess what? I forgot to press the clicker, McFarlane. So I'm a few slides behind. So on the About Us page on the website, this is what we found. It says, drip footwear is not just about a sneaker. It is about a brand that is dedicated to customers. It is a brand that is about working with customers to design the future. Now imagine that, working with customers, not just for customers, but with customers. It goes on further to say that the mission of this brand, I'm not really good at this clicking, eh? That the mission of this brand is to inspire customers to define their great. Now, colleagues, let those two statements percolate for a minute. Working with customers and inspiring customers to define their great. I'd also like you to think about what you think their brand value is. Make some mental notes or write it down. This is a local brand, right? And how powerful are those two statements? So the brand value is about dependability, responsiveness, imaginative, and it's about being passionate. So I had to test these values, and I proceeded to buy a pair of sneakers, which I'm wearing today, online and I bought a pair of sneakers in the store. And dare I say, I was not disappointed with my experience. But neither was I seduced by the customer experience. This young company has some improvements to make, but they have surely set themselves up for success. Now, it goes without saying that if we do not have the customer at the heart of what we do, how can we claim to be customer-centric organizations? If we do not obsess about the customer and obsess about what we do for them, can we call ourselves customer-centric? Do we employ the right people and empower them to be customer-centric? And where does the magic happen for the customer? When I think about it, for me, the magic happens when we employ the right people and empower them to make the customer feel great. I often sit back and I think, how do we, as the insurance industry, how do we and how can we create unique, magical experiences for our customers? So here are my thoughts, and I call them the 5 commandments of customer centricity. Commandment number 1. They say charity begins at home. So why not start with our employees? When companies employ new people, we generally put them through what we call induction or onboarding programs. And usually what happens in these programs, you will tell them the history of the company, what the do's and the don'ts are. Sometimes we tell them the toilets are here, male, female. But we also share the vision and the mission of the organization. At the end of it, these new employees are given a manual. And we tell them, go home, read the manual, study it, and familiarize yourself with what our vision is. These same people are expected to then create magic for our customers. Do you honestly think that magic is going to be created after reading a manual? So what must companies do? Companies should hire the right people. Hire people who share your vision, who are aligned to your vision, who are as passionate about making the customer feel great as what you are. But more importantly, we should empower and support our people. We should inspire them to put the customer at the heart and center of what we do. So we should develop a vision that is so compelling that your employees will rush to get out of bed in the morning and arrive at work enthusiastically to serve customers because they are so aligned with the vision. So always invest in your staff, invest in your people. Commandment number 2, treat customers as your friends. Now, we were all brought up to believe in the 80-20 marketing rule, that 20% of our loyal clients will bring us 80% of our income. I seem to think that there is a shift in this. I believe that this is now moving to like 60-40, maybe 50-50 even. Loyalty is decreasing. Loyalty is no longer about loyalty programs or reward programs because customers view this as just discount facilities. Customers want to relate to us on a human level. So how do we create long, loyal, lasting customer relationships? Now think about the ingredients of what a true friendship is. And think about your current friendships, the time, the effort, and the emotional investment that you put into building these friendships. The disagreements that you had to go to, the agreements, the sadness, laughter, and joy. If you treated your customer as your friend, what do you think might happen? So now let's consider an example. One of your friend's houses has burnt down. And in this example, you are the insurer, the insurance company, or the broker. And your friend is the customer. You can respond in one of two ways. You can say to your friend, who is also your customer, that the four corners of this policy will respond, and you will try as best as possible to reduce the cost of the claim, because we all want profit, right? Or you could respond to your friend, again, who is also your customer, and say, yes, the four corners of this policy is going to respond, but I'm going to give you something else. I'm going to provide you with some emotional support. And that emotional support can come in the form of trauma counseling, in care packages, or comfort packages. This is how trust and loyalty is built. When we start treating our customers on a human-to-human level. Therefore, the secret to long, loyal, lasting customer relationships is not a reward program. It's from conducting business from the heart. It's from helping people and always doing the right thing for your customer. Your customer can be your friend. Just remember to make that investment. Commandment number 3, the customer is not always right. And I know there are some people out there in the audience that are going to disagree with me. I used to always think that the customer was right. And when I actually wear my customer hat, I still think I am right. But guys, let's face it, we work in insurance, right? And we work to support clients who don't even know that they have a problem. We solve problems for clients when they don't even know that it exists. So a recent Salesforce.com survey showed that 50% of the customers in the survey and more than 75% of the business buyers expected companies to anticipate their needs. They want companies, to know what they need. Customers don't know what they need. We have to come up with solutions for them. Customers invest in products and services to take them from where they are now, where they want to be. So essentially, they have one goal in mind, and that is to create a better future for themselves. So what must we do to change this notion that the customer is not always right? We must be truthful to the customer. We shouldn't oversell to the customer. And we shouldn't also let the customer tell us what they need. You are the expert, believe that. You've spent hours in research and market analysis to develop product and service. So train your staff, train those new people that you employ to offer your products and services with care, confidence, and conviction. Target the problem, not the market. Listen to your customers. Don't tell them what they want to hear. Tell them what they need to hear. Customers will trust you, and you will start building loyal relationships with them when they believe that you have their best interest at heart. This is where what we call customer lifetime value is created. And don't believe your own hype. Guys, we have to be in a constant state of iteration of product and services. Our only job is to create better futures for our customers. So I read this statement that Steve Jobs said, customers really know what they want. And it's pretty true, eh? Every year I buy a new Apple phone that I didn't know I needed or wanted. I buy it anyway. And then my fourth commandment. I'm actually doing great for time, can you believe it? Power to the customer. Have you guys noticed how the power is shifting from companies to customers? So I want you to think about a time you booked an Uber and you waited 5 minutes for the Uber. You got so annoyed, right? And then I want you to think about the next time when you booked an Uber again and you waited maybe 10 minutes. This time it was an Uber Black and they canceled on you. You were doubly annoyed. Now, many years back, if this was a Friday evening and you were calling a Rose's taxi to take you to the club, you wouldn't mind waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes even. And if that same Rose's taxi didn't arrive, so what? Call another taxi service. The reality is that customers are changing. What we want is changing. The world is changing around us. And when negative experiences happen, customers generally just revert to all these social media platforms to complain. So they'll go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And the reason why they complain on these various platforms is because these platforms are what we call attention merchants. They love the attention that is brought to the platform. And when the attention is drawn to the platform, these attention merchants collect all the data and they start creating communities. Communities of people that have common interests and experiences. Experts are now calling these communities tribes. And these tribes start existing on these virtual platforms. They are immensely powerful. They can influence the success or the failure of organizations. So what must we do as companies to support these tribes? We must listen to these tribes. And the reason why these tribes are so powerful is because they connect with people. They connect on a human-to-human level. So we've got to listen to them and connect with these tribes on a person-to-person level. When companies listen, that is when they are empowered to produce products and services for these communities. Now, I want to give you an example of this company. It's called Citizen M. Citizen M is a global mobile hotel chain. The company was founded a few years back, and the idea behind this organization was to disrupt the traditional hotel offering. So what they did was they came up with an affordable luxury offering of accommodation, but mostly for business travelers. So they reduced the size of the rooms, but created bigger lobbies to facilitate networking and meetings. And most important, they introduced a 24/7 bar, a bar that would be open 24/7. Now you guys know how important that is after a long day of meetings. So again, guys, it's important for us, in order to create those bonds with our customers, is to pay attention and to listen to them. I'm coming to the last of my commandments, which is called customer joy. Now there are 5 basic emotions: fear, anger, disgust, sadness, and then joy. And I want to focus on the one positive emotion, which I think all companies should be focusing on. And that is customer joy. Now, this customer joy cannot be evoked by robots and machines and technology. So whilst technology is there to improve our lives, it's there to facilitate efficiencies, it's there to make us more agile, it does not emanate, it does not create the joy. And I know that the gamers out there will disagree with me. Certainly my 9-year-old gets a lot of joy from spending many hours in front of his PlayStation. But customer joy is about a connection on a human level. And we do not connect on a human level with technology. Why? Because we are emotional human beings. And when a customer experiences joy, that is when magic happens. So let's talk about sex. Not that kind of sex, guys. This is about customer experience and customer expectations. And what must that be? It must be fast, it must be easy, it must be fun, and it must be simple. Fast, why? Because we are actually the 5-second generation. We want everything and we want it now. So think about Amazon Go. You walk into the store, you get recognized by your phone, you collect your goods, and you walk out. It's fast. We want it to be easy. Can you guys imagine a time where you couldn't use SnapScan? Or Apple Pay, for that matter. I recently read about this facility in China called Alipay. You walk up to a screen, you smile, and your payments are processed. Imagine payments with a smile. I'm never happy to pay anything for anything, by the way. But it's easy, right? We want it to be fun. Come in and try the worst salad one woman on TripAdvisor ever had in her life. The worst salad she ever had in her life. I would definitely go in just for the fun of it. And lastly, we want it to be simple. Now the Gen Zs like myself, we get overwhelmed with choices. We don't want choices. We want it to be kept simple. I love books, and whenever I go into a bookstore, I'm so overwhelmed. Why? Because I want to buy all the books, and I could never make a choice of which one to choose. So I end up leaving with a pile of books that sit on my bookshelf waiting to be read. So this is a bookstore in Japan called Moriyata Shoten, and the owner came up with a phenomenal idea. It's a single room with a single book. One book, guys, in a bookstore. And in this bookstore, the books change on a weekly basis. So if you don't like the book, you come back next week. If If you like it, you can have it. If you don't, try again. So think about ourselves. Do we overwhelm our clients? Do we overwhelm our industry with choices? To create that joy, what should we do? Keep it fast, easy, fun, and simple. So let's go back and talk about sex. Again, I'm still talking customer experience and expectation. This joy that I keep referring to is created when customer expectations are met or exceeded. It's as simple as that, guys. So when we listen to our customers, when we truly understand what the customer wants, when we are able to empower ourselves by empowering our staff, and we are able to come up with solutions, products, services, experiences that will create a better future for our customers, that is when our customer expectations are met and exceeded. It's not difficult to create joy for our customers. If we could only just believe that our mission as companies, that our mission as the insurance industry is to design and create a better future for all our customers. Because that is when magic happens. Magic happens. So I'm going to leave you with that thought this afternoon, colleagues. And this is just a summary on the board of my 5 commandments. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for sticking around so that I am able to entertain you with my colorful slides today. Thank you.